Hello students, Mr. Sims here. We are on page 40 of our student books. Move that up so you can see. We're going to be referring to simple interest, and we just watched a hook video on what simple interest actually is. So the objective, I can find the amount of interest. All right. Okay. So the first example here, excuse me. The question is, can money grow? And a look at simple interest. Okay. So to find simple interest, there is a formula for this, and it's very, very similar to some of the formulas we used before. But what we're going to do is we're just going to relate it to what we've already been talking about. So we're going to kind of forego any of this for right now. Some of the things we are going to talk about is the rate and the time. Like principal is the one thing that we'll have to talk about. All right. So Larry invests $100 in a savings plan. It pays 4.5% interest for each year. So just like all the percents we've done so far, your first step is to take 4.5%. So you just do 4.5, or if you want to make it 4.5, you could do that. X over 100. Right. So then you do your cross multiplying. And once you do your cross multiplying and then divide by 100, you get 450. Okay. So this $4.50 is the amount of interest, but that's for 1 year. How much money will Larry earn in interest after 3 years? So this is for 1 year. The next step would be to multiply. So you know how on some of them we add, like with a tax we add, with a discount we subtract. With interest, we multiply by number of years. So 450 times 3 is $13.50. Right? So that's after 3 years. Now, if I move this to over here, now I want to say for 5 years, well, you just take that 450, what we already got, and multiply it times 5 years. Okay? And we get $22.50. Okay? So, the word balance, it could be, move this up so you can see what I'm doing. The word balance means amount of money total. All right. So the amount of balance. Can you find the balance of Larry's account at the end of 5 years? To find the balance of an account, you take what you started with, and then you add any interest that you get. Okay. So what happens is he started with $100. That's how much he started with, 100, plus the interest that he earns, and we're doing it for 5 years, so we take the $22.50. All right, so he would have $122.50 in his bank account at the end of 5 years. Okay, so that's what they refer to as the money growing. All right, let's look at the next exercise here, right, and kind of start one from the beginning. Find the balance of a savings account. You see that word balance. Okay, at the end of 10 years. Interest is 7.5%. The principal is $500. So let's start by first finding the interest. Okay? Because the amount balance is what you started with plus the interest. So we have to find the interest. We start with $500. 7.5%, 7.5 over 100, x over 500. So this sets up just like all the ones that we've done so far. And do your cross multiplying, do your dividing, you get $37.50. This is the interest. Okay? So now to find the balance, we take what you started with, $500, and you add the interest, $37.50, for a total of $537.50. So sometimes they're going to ask you for... And I can't wait until class when you say, did you record this today during lunch? All right, so anyway, back to what we're doing. So if sometimes they just ask you for the interest, sometimes they ask you for the balance. So the interest is just this amount here. All right, if they ask you for the interest. So that's just something you'll have to kind of keep track of. All right, let's do one more. Let's make it kind of a simple, quick check maybe. And this is on the back of the blank page. So we're going to say find just the interest. Let's start with that. Okay, let's suppose that you have $650 in your account, and you're going to earn 5% interest for 10 years. And actually, that just reminded me of something. We're going to back up a little bit. And we're going to go back to this problem back here, where I have this $37.50. I never multiplied it by 10. My fault, because that's just like up here. If you go for 3 years, multiply by 3. 5 years, multiply by 5. I forgot to multiply by 10. So really, that's going to make that answer different. This is really going to be $375. Right? And then when I add this in here, this is really $875. There. My mistake. So I won't make the mistake on this last example here. All right. Hit pause if you had to get back to that. All right, so let's go back to the one I'm working on here. Find interest. $650, you earn 5% interest for 10 years. Actually, let's change this to 13 years. Okay, just because I don't want to do 10 again. All right, so we're going to do 5%. 5 over 100. X over the money. 650. Okay. Do our cross multiplying. Okay, cross multiply. I get $32.50. That's for 1 year. We want to go for 13 years. Multiply by 13. And I get $422.50. Right? So this is the amount of interest. The balance would be equal to what you started with plus the interest, for a total of $1,072.50. Okay? So you can see that it can grow. The longer you leave money in, the more money you actually return. All right, so as far as practice is concerned, we're going to have some problems here. We're going to do exercise number 1, 2, and 3 on this page here. This is page number 41, by the way. And then we'll just kind of continue working from there. So for recorded lessons, this is Mr. Sims signing off.